In this video, we'll be talking about the new metal releases for the weekend of April 12th, 2024. I have 8 bands to talk about, a mix of death metal, progressive folk metal, psychedelic doom metal, speed metal, and glam metal. A lot of these bands have a very retro sound, which is usually what I look for in bands. So let's get into this. The first album I have is from the band Replicant. The name of the album is Infinite Mortality. This is a technical death metal band from New Brunswick, New Jersey. They've been active since 2014. Their current label is Transcending Obscurity Records. This is their 3rd full-length album. There are 4 members in the band. The album has 9 tracks and it is 44 minutes long. They released a music video for the song Necrot Tunnel and a lyric video for Orgasm of Bereavement. I thought the music was very technical and complex. It's not easy listening music. I think if you're a fan of the more extreme forms of death metal, you can get into it. Many songs have a combination of chugging guitar riffs with lots of technicality. You can hear the bass guitar at times, and it slows down at times. This is the kind of album where you should listen to with headphones and try to pay close attention to everything that's going on, because I think if you're a non-metal head, it might sound like noise to you, but if you love death metal, I think you can just listen to it and pick out all the different intricacies. My score is a 7.5 out of 10. It's on the more extreme side, so keep that in mind. The next album that I have is called Tear, and the album is called Ballads. This is one of the few bands from the list that I had known about, but only listened to sparingly. The band is from Denmark. They've been around since 1998. They are listed as progressive / folk metal, and I think that's a good description. They write songs about Norse mythology. Many songs are in their native language. There are 4 members in the band. The album has 10 songs. It's about 41 minutes long. I was able to listen to this last Thursday, a day before the official release date, because Metal Blade Records made it available on YouTube early. They made 3 music videos for the songs Axes, Hammered, and Dragons Ever Die. If you're wondering, the band is named after the Norse god Tyr, the god of war, justice, and treaties. Even though the music is labeled as progressive folk metal, I would say it sounds close to power metal with Viking metal theme, that kind of thing. We got lots of fast drum beats, melodic guitar riffs, and powerful vocals in the music. And the music videos are really cool. You see these beautiful landscapes with the members dressed in these different costumes of the times. There are times when they sound like medieval Renaissance music, but on the other side of the spectrum, they have a few song titles that I won't be able to pronounce, and they have lyrics in their native language, and they're just all acoustic with orchestration, and pretty much means they sound like folk songs. So electric guitars existed in the age of Vikings. This is what the music would sound like. The band is pretty unique. I listened to it a few times. I enjoyed it. My score is an 8 out of 10. If you're a fan of power metal, Vikings, that type of thing, check it out. Next is the band Heavy Temple. The name of the album is Garden of Heathens. They are a psychedelic doom band. I found them to have a very retro sound. The band is from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in the US. They've been active since 2012. Supposedly the songs are about the Dark Tower series. I'm not very familiar with that. This is their 2nd full-length album. The band has 3 members. The album has 8 songs. It's 45 minutes long. And I like this one a lot. I'm usually not a fan of doom metal when it's very slow, and it seems like they play one riff that goes on and on. But this band was different. They seem to have a little bit of a more technicality to their sound. It was still retro, but it's not like they're trying to emulate Black Sabbath or anything like that. There's also this psychedelic component. So for example, they use different guitar effects on different songs. Some songs are short in the 3-4 minute range. Some songs are long and epic in the 8 or 9 minute range. For example, there's one song called Snake Oil and Other Remedies. At first I expected it to be a slow funeral doom song, but as the song progressed, it started to sound like some of that Syd Barrett era Pink Floyd. The song was A Space Ride in Your Mind. The band is very unique. I don't always like this subgenre, but I could get into this. My score is an 8.5 out of 10. If you like bands with that retro sound and are kind of original, check it out. Next is the band Vulture, and the name of the album is Sentinels. This is a retro-sounding thrash and speed metal band from Germany. I was also able to listen to this a day early because Metal Blade released it a day early. They've been active since 2015, and this is their fourth full-length album. The band has 5 members. They reminded me of Exodus, but mostly from the first album, Bonded by Blood. The vocals are in a higher range, so vocally they remind me of a band like Agent Steel. The album has 11 tracks. It's 40 minutes long. They released 3 music videos. The music is very fast. It sounds like it was recorded in the 80s. It has that retro production value. The vocals can be high-pitched at times. The band even had a very 80s or retro image. In the music video, they're dressed in black leather and they use smoke machines for added effect. And you can also hear guitar harmonies at times. Sometimes the sound is dark, like Merciful Fate. They definitely capture that retro sound. You can also hear some of that early Paul Di'Anno era Iron Maiden in the sound. Not too bad. My score is an 8 out of 10. If you like metal from the early 80s, check out this band. Next is the band Junkyard Drive, and the name of the album is Look at Me Now. This is a hard rock band from Denmark. They reminded me of some of those hard rock or sleaze rock bands from the late 80s, such as Guns N' Roses, LA Guns, or Dangerous Toys. They've been active since 2014. The band has 5 members. This is their 4th full-length album. The album has 10 songs. It was better than expected. There was a nice variety of song styles on the album. Some of the songs are hard rockers, sounded like some of those old Sunset Strip bands. The music is heavy, it's sleazy, it's melodic. The song Shoot From the Hip had lots of big power chords. The song Tearaway was an energetic song with a heavier edge, similar to a band like Skid Row. They had some power ballads like the song Saw You Hanging There with softer singing and cleaner guitar tones. And the song Beauty Fool has a bluesy sound with some of that Hendrix-inspired guitar playing mixed with a modern production. There's also the song Blood Red Sky. I like the guitar playing in that one with the dirty, distorted guitar tone. I'll give this one an 8 out of 10. If you like metal from the late 80s like Skid Row, Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue, check out this band. Next is the band Castle Rat, and the name of the album is Into the Realm. The band is from Brooklyn, New York, and this is their first full-length album. They are a doom metal band. They have a very retro sound. You can hear that they have an influence from early Black Sabbath or even Candlemass. They also reminded me of the band Lucifer, as they are a female-fronted band. They all wear costumes on stage. They go out by names such as the Rat Queen, the Druid, the Count, and the Plague Doctor, and they also have the Rat Reaperess, who I believe is just a stage performer. This band looks pretty cool. I checked out the video of their live show. It looks pretty cool. It's very theatrical, like those old Alice Cooper concerts. I like the track called Feed the Dream. The song has slow and heavy guitar riffs and melodic yet haunting dark vocals. Resurrector is a short bass guitar solo, and it's an instrumental. Red Sands is one of the longer tracks, has some psychedelic influences, and what sounds like a spaceship in the background. The Mirror is another short instrumental with acoustic guitars and psychedelic sounds. My score for this is an 8 out of 10. This one has a very retro sound. I like it when bands have a throwback sound. This is for our fans of bands like Lucifer, for example. Next is the band Necrot, and the name of the album is Lifeless Birth. This is a death metal band from Oakland, California, and they've been active since 2011. This is their 3rd full-length album. There are 3 people in the band. They have an old-school death metal sound. The Metal Archive site compares them to bands like Bolt Thrower and Autopsy. The album has 7 tracks. It's 40 minutes long. Opening track, Cut the Cord, has a classic death metal sound, lots of heavy guitar riffs and faster drum beats. The vocals are typical death growls. Lifeless Birth has a faster pace and some tremolo picking in the guitar riffs, and the vocals were slower and more guttural. And that song went through various tempo changes, and the guitar riffs were very complex. I think my favorite song was called Drill the Skull. That was the clip I played in the beginning. It was just a little slower and sludgier at first, but it's just one of my favorite songs. And that particular track, Drill the Skull, was very good because it had that like heavy chugging sound with the deep death metal growls. Also, the lyrics are very well written. talking about the songs Drill the Skull. It's about somebody who had gotten a lobotomy. So I thought it was very good. It had a very traditional death metal sound. One of the better death metal albums of this year so far. My score is an 8.5 out of 10. The band is not like super original, but they play death metal and they do it like very well, and they have a really good production value. I have one more band, and it's called King Zebra. The name of the album is Between the Shadows. It's a band from Switzerland that plays hard rock and glam metal. They have the look of 80s glam metal bands. The music is very melodic. They also reminded me a little of Ghost, but without all that imagery. There are 5 people in the band. This is their 4th full-length album. They have music videos for songs Dina and Children of the Night. The album is filled with melodic rockers. Most of the songs have big guitar chords, melodic vocals, some keyboards in the background. The songs all have these big catchy choruses which you can sing along to, and the guitar solos are all melodic. They use both clean and distorted guitar tones as well, and they have some softer and more melodic rockers such as the song Cyanide. Then they have With You Forever. It's a big power ballad and reminded me of some of that classic Bon Jovi with the keyboards and the bass guitar playing more of a role. The last song on the album was pretty cool. It was a little different. Had a cool blues guitar riff, and I also liked the drumming on this song. I'll give this one a 7.5 out of 10. For fans of classic arena rock sound, glam metal bands of the late 80s, Bon Jovi, Poison, Warrant, that type of thing, but a little more like melodic. Very enjoyable, and the production was very good. That's all. Check out last week's episode of Metal Albums from last week, the new albums. Please like this video. It helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Please subscribe if you're not already. I do rock and metal reviews, rankings, and more. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.